Welcome to Jigsaw Geek. So today I'm going to talk about the kind of excruciating ordeal that went into building this puzzle. Now this puzzle is from Eurographics Puzzles, and it's 1,000 piece puzzle, and it's from an art piece by Clarence Gagnon, I'm going to assume, and it's Winter Morning in Basie-St-Paul, and there's the French title. And of course this is from an art piece, and it's a gorgeous image. But it does not make an easy puzzle. And I think you can understand why. Because there's all of this white, like big patches of white everywhere. And it's like white, white, white. So I would say at least 1/4 of the pieces were just white. Now, of course, you have some things that you could latch onto and start building, and that's what I did. But before I talk about this, building this puzzle, I want to talk more about the company. So this is from a fine art collection, and they have more of these. And I would absolutely love to get every one of these, although they do look very difficult. For example, this Juan Moreau one, that one looks so difficult. Probably the poppy field, even though it's like 50-50, I think that would be difficult. But it doesn't matter because these are the type of puzzles I love. Why did this one give me such a challenge? Now, the first reason that this gave me such a challenge was I picked it for the wrong reason. And I knew that going in. Now, this puzzle box is really large, and I'm trying to get rid. But look at how nice it would look on the shelf standing up like that. But anyways, this puzzle box is so large that the reason I decided to do this was so that I could get rid of this puzzle box. It would take up less space so that it wouldn't be so bulky where I'm storing my puzzles. So I don't think that's the best reason to do a puzzle. And then I knew that it would be really, really difficult, and I have limited time because, I'm doing the puzzles after work, and this would have been better during my summer vacation. But because of the space, I wanted to get rid of this box, and I decided to go ahead and do this puzzle. Now, I really enjoyed doing this puzzle, but it took me a lot longer than normal because I did all the different sections, and I would stop after a while. I didn't do marathons on this puzzle because of puzzle fatigue with all of these white pieces. And believe it or not, the trees were extremely difficult to do. Now, if you go ahead and look in on it, a lot of the trees are very similar. And when you have a piece, you didn't know if it went here, 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 or here. And it was quite challenging to get these trees done. And of course, you have to get the trees done before you could do the sky, because that would limit the pieces, because you have so much more sky to do. Now, doing this puzzle, I did not do a time lapse. I actually started doing it, and then I realized that the puzzle was taking me so long and over so many different nights that it would just be too difficult to put together a time lapse. But what I did do was I took pictures of the puzzle in various stages. So on the side of the box, you have a biography of Clarence Gagnon, and it's in 4 separate languages. So even though this is a gigantic box, the box is actually very nice, especially if you were collecting these puzzles and you could line them up on your shelf. But having said that, this would take up so much room. This box is just gigantic. Now, this box claims that this is a museum quality puzzle. And I would say that the image definitely is museum quality. The image is gorgeous. In fact, why don't I go ahead and show you the finished puzzle now? I have to lean way back. So here is the finished puzzle after I put it in the backing. But one problem with this puzzle is that it was so fragile. Like the pieces just didn't connect well. Like they would connect when you made the puzzle. There wasn't a problem with that. But the pieces, there wasn't a variety. So if you look at all the interior pieces are the one type, and there's no variation, as you could see. So 2 ends, 2 ins, 2 outs, 2 ins, every single piece. So there was not a lot of variety to help you when you were dealing with those difficult spots. And then when it was time for me to put the puzzle in the backing to glue it together, I couldn't get it to slide onto a plastic that I normally use. So then I put my backing boards under and flip it over. I had to break the puzzle into 2 big parts, and even then it was so difficult to slide it onto that. Now, would that stop me from doing one of these puzzles again? No, because look at that image. It's gorgeous. I think this puzzle is gorgeous. I think, like I said, I was in the wrong state of mind when I was doing this and doing it for the wrong reasons. And that was, mostly just to get rid of the box. But I'm so glad that I have this puzzle, and I will absolutely do more puzzles in this Eurographics line, just because these are the kind of puzzles that I absolutely love. I'm slowly gathering together a little mini art gallery with all of these different puzzles. I mean, look at that puzzle. It's gorgeous. So the last thing that I want to say is that I found these 3 puzzles that I had bought for when kids come over, and they were just sitting there, and they're 3 Disney puzzles. I think I bought them at the dollar store, and they're very cheap, but I remember putting them together and I enjoyed it. And so I was thinking, instead of just, throwing them away, I was wondering if anybody out there would like me to do a giveaway. And so what I would do is I would build each puzzle and then ask you to put something in the comments. And then I would put everyone's name in like a hat and draw it out and then send it. So if anybody is interested in doing that, then please let me know in the comments, and I could certainly do that. I mean, it would be fun putting these together. I think that image is beautiful. I really like that image too. I think this one's my favorite though. And then this one is fun to do because of all the different faces. So there you have my experience putting together this fine art puzzle and talking about a possible giveaway. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated, and I want to thank you for the support.